Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 7th of April 1942, which is about 4 or 5 months on from the end of the last part, where we've made a little bit more progress. We got through the winter, and in this part, what I want to do is focus on setting up a new town where we will be producing clothes and outlining some production for nuclear fuel. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about that in a little while, but first I just want to give you an update of where we are. Now, there's been a little bit of a change in this area because I've realized that I'm going to need to ship chemicals to my new town that I'm going to plan. So what I've done is I've put in a cargo station here and a warehouse which we're going to use to export the chemicals across the map by rail. I've also left a little bit of gap here because one thing I'm starting to realize is that I need to shift back towards looking at some food production, clothes and meat, because if I show you the economy and I show the exports, if I show the exports for this year, what you'll see is the amount of clothes that I'm exporting and meat is shrinking quite dramatically. That means we're putting more and more focus on exporting bitumen and fuel. The alcohol we're still doing is still okay, but what you will notice in here is that if I go to last year, the amount of food that I'm exporting is also dropping as well, and you've got to bear in mind that that's before we bring this new town online as well. So we are going to need to look seriously at food production. Of course, in the last part I was focusing on getting some synthetic fertilizer going so that I can increase the production over here, and also I planned this new field here. Now, one thing that I've kind of worked out in preparation for this video is that this chemical plant, which I think can produce about 4.5 tons of chemicals, is not going to be enough. So what I've done is I've planned a second chemical plant at the back connected to this warehouse as well. The reason for that is purely down to the fact that we're going to need a lot of chemicals. And so I want to make this into a center of fuel and chemicals. So, so that's the current situation over here. I say the town here is just quietly trundling along by itself. We do now have coal into this area, but we are running a risk of fire because at the moment the only fire protection we've got is up here with 4 fire trucks up in this rural fire station here. So we're going to need to be a little bit careful from that perspective. The area that I was working on in the last part is slowly coming alive here, and what I've done is I've put some fire trucks in here. There's no actual fuel here because I don't have the range to build it, but what I have done is planned a gas station over here. But these fire trucks are here purely just to protect this area until such time as I can get this up and running. My vehicle scrapping yard here is kind of working, so we can start actually possibly sending vehicles to here now instead of down over here. So I do need to kind of sort that out over time as well. But I think at the moment we're just quite happy just to leave the workforce in there. Probably don't need that many in here. Let's just drop it down to about 60. And I've also got to bring this repair station alive as well. But that's something that I'm going to do because, and this is one of the problems with this game, is that eventually you can spend a lot of time on detail work trying to get all these various components put together. So that's something that I do want to think about quite seriously. I think that covers everything in what I want to talk about. So let's just get down to where the new town's going to be. In order to carry on expanding out our economy this way, in fact, one of my primary areas of consideration was up here because that would give me an opportunity to bring on another oil field, which is along this river here. But it occurred to me that I've already got a massive backlog with building track, and my track layers aren't exactly the most efficient at the moment, simply because, well, they're not the best because we're only still in 1942. So what I've decided is that we're going to expand this area here for clothing, because we got uranium over here anyway. So this is where I was always going to plan to put a nuclear fuel industry in. So I think what we're going to do is start with planning the clothing industry first. What we most likely will do is have a town here. Although there's one thing I do want to check, because we've got this patch of ground here. And normally because what I'd like to eventually is to have a farm out here to supply the crops to the clothing industry as well. But I think if I put a field here, it doesn't really make that much difference. We can put a small field in. See, the game will say you can put a field in here, but yeah, I thought that would be a problem. Yeah. So we're going to have to do something with this. I'm not exactly sure what I could do. Well, the alternative, if we can't get this sorted, what we may have to do is go for these types of fields to produce the crops as well. Just take a quick check at this. Oh, thank you, game. Because this silo here actually ran out of crops this winter. And this food factory here is actually providing the food for this town up here. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So what I want to do here is just build a clothing production area. Now, this is going to, how can you put it? This is going to be using the in-game mechanics, but what we are going to do is start with a silo. And I'm going to need one that's connected to railway. I think 5,600 would be good enough. Now, let me just check something. Sorry about this. I don't think clothing... The fabric factory produces 8.72 tons. Clothing factory, 4 tons. So if we have the town there, if I put the, we won't have a pollution problem if I put the silo there. We need to angle it there because we're going to bring the rail track in from that point of view. I want to leave enough space over here for the uranium processing. So we're going to put you there because we can bring a road round and down into this area. Also, there's a possibility that we could put some food production in this area as well. So we've now got the main warehouse in here. What I need to do now is put in the fabric factory. Now, it's worth noting that a fabric factory produces 5 tons of fabric, which is enough to support 2 clothing factories. So you always want to try and get so you always want to provide provision for 2 clothing factories. Actually, I'm kind of thinking like that because I'm going to need 2 factory connections out that way. Oops. Now the next thing we're going to need is a nice big warehouse. Where's the biggest warehouse we got? 1,000. Oh yeah, that's we'll flip it that way because I want the road going out that way. I think if we put the, actually I'm going to put the warehouse like that. I am going to be quite extravagant with the spacing, I think. So we're going to put you there. And then we're going to need a clothing factory. Now this clothing factory needs to have 2 connections. one directly to the fabric factory and one to the actual warehouse. The reason for that is if the clothing factory just draws from that warehouse, there will be fabric inside of the fabric factory that the clothing factory can't access. So if we do that, that will ensure that this clothing factory can pull the fabric from there directly. And then what I will do is put the second clothing factory here. The way to think of it is that this clothing factory will have the exclusive access to the fabric factory, and this will be the first one we're actually going to build. This one is going to deal with the surplus overflow. And another thing you need to remember is that we're going to need to ship some fabric out to provide vehicle repairs as well. So that little bit of surplus fabric can be pushed out that way. Now, so we've now got that connection there, I think, and we've got this here. Now, one thing I would like to do is put in a cargo station, and we'll just tuck a cargo station in. I think we can put it fairly tight. Actually, no, I'm not going to put the cargo station in just yet. Something's just occurred to me. I think probably the best thing to do now is actually put in the rail track. So I'm going to go out. Oops. Just cancel that. Actually, I don't like that. Try again. I'm going to come out like that. Come there. Now we are going to need, now crop trains can be quite long, so we're going to need at least 250, possibly even more than that, 270. So we want to go up to about that tree and put a crossover in like that. Now comes the fun bit. We've got to find a way through these mountains where we've got a little bit of a gap there. I kind of want to think I want to come through here. So I think if we do the connection through here first and come down about there. Actually, if I can run the track up like this. Through here. Get to there. Yeah, I think we can get through here. I'm trying to avoid actually having to do any leveling, because otherwise I'd have to build a construction office. I think we're just going to shift key. We're gonna trim. Actually, no, we got a crossover there. And if I can pick up a crossover from there, can I, with that, well, it'd be brilliant if that actually connects up like that. It's a bit of a wiggly type track, but it works, which is good. Right, just check, make sure everything is connected. That's connected there, that's connected there. If you can remove the construction dots, that means that the track is good all the way through there. Okay, so we're going to accept that. And we can now turn off that. I'm just going to let the game run quicker so we can get out of the dark. Now, what I want to do now is we need to have the ability to bring in the... My God, like... Yes. I think let me just see. We've got the cargo one there. I think I want to leave enough space so that I've got an option to import meat if should I need to. We don't really need to bring. The other thing I wouldn't mind doing is leaving an option for a, actually, yeah, I think we're going to come this side actually. It just occurred to me. Actually, if I go like that, so we have a little bit of a curve. We may want to ship the nuclear fuel to the border because we're going to use it as a cash cow until we actually build a nuclear power plant. So if I want to ship that out, we may need to build this here, container vehicle thingy, which will connect in like something like that. And then that leaves one more connection for a meat store should we need it. Now, I'll be completely upfront. I've never ever shipped nuclear fuel using a train. So I've got absolutely no idea how that's actually going to work. We got connect. That's the crossover there. So I want to make sure we got plenty of track coverage there to there. And we put a crossover. There's a little bit of a mistake there. And we'll just hook that up. Again, it's just very important to make sure that all these lines are actually connected up, because it's just such a big pain if you find out that you've made a mistake in realistic mode. So we got that there. The other thing that I need to consider, if I'm talking about having crops down here, we really need to be able to bring a train in here. I think we run there. Let me just remove that little dot thing there. And of course, we're going to need the train that will. I think if we can't bring you off there, and if we run you so that you run across the front of these mountains, so something like that. There's the train. Okay. I think we might just be able to clip across the front of that mountain there. And then just come down to here. And I'll leave that open-ended for the moment. And then again, I'm going to need a fairly long Y junction here for the long crop trains. You can come in there. You can come. Again, I've made a mistake again. Because the dot did not disappear. What that will do, and just remove this dot, these dots as well, just make sure that they're good. What that will mean is that we've now got the ability to go down here and bring the crops up to this silo here, which is going to be very important, especially if we got a farm down here. Actually, while I'm here, there's something else I want to do, because we've got this road bridge here, but I don't want to bring all the traffic up here, and I want the ability to possibly send clothes to this town. So I think what we'll do is I'm gonna put a bridge across there. That's a rail bridge. What am I on about? I want a road bridge. That's a concrete bridge there, so that's better. Should have noticed that it was. You can come there. Just slow the game back up again. In fact, I think I'm going to keep it on pause now, so I can operate in the daylight. Where put a road across like that, just to make sure this connection is good. And then this will be a road, the connection that will go up to here. Now, one thing I do want to do is I'm going to put a cargo station here, just in case that we need to deliver, say, surplus crops from this farm or here in the future. This is a one-way system, so we're gonna need to put a road round the, and you can come there, and I think we'll split this road with a connection to the fabric factory there. Now, another thing we're going to need to consider is that if I show you down here, is the fabric factory will need 300 employees. Remember, it's 100 times 3. And the 2 clothing factories will need 80. So what's that? 3 eighths, 24. So that's 240. So that's 540. So we're going to need to get about 1,000 workers out here. There's possibly a cable car, but then there's also another potential for trams. I'm not sure what is the tram situation here. Let me just see. Do we have trams? Yeah, we got a nice selection of trams. Some of them with decent carry capacity. So maybe we will use the preferred transport network system. Here will be trams, but we'll work on that later on, because the next thing I want to do now is actually plan our nuclear industry here. So the first step in that process is we got to find the uranium mines. What we got here now, we probably strictly don't need, actually I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of these roads in this area. Probably I don't really want to. We've got this road connection here, so I think we'll just trim the road back to about there, and we'll just kind of clear the roads away from here. The reason for that is it makes it a little bit easier to place the, so we got 29% from, yeah, if we put that on the actual road itself, then you're coming that way. Need to flip you that way. You're going to be about 20% uranium mine. It's not brilliant, but bear in mind that this is overlapping. In fact, we push you out, say, to about there. That gives us 23%. Oh, great. Okay, we're gonna, oh, there's 25% there anyway, 25% there, so that's good. Now, the next thing we're gonna need is a conveyor in the center like that. The trouble is that road connection's a bit icky, so we need to make sure we can get a road connection out. Make sure we can get a road connection out of there. Yeah. Now, so what we got is the output there, which has got to go into a aggregate store. So where's the aggregate store? So that we can actually put in the surplus. I think 870 will be sufficient. I'm actually going to push this way a bit. This only just needs to be a service road, so I think I'm going to put a road in between. Actually, let me just plan. We need this road now. Yeah, you can come to there from there. Right, so we actually need to get a conveyor. See if I can do it in one go. It's going to be, it's very unlikely. No. Okay. I'm going to use this to my advantage in the fact that, oh no, we haven't got that much space. So we're going to put you, if I can flip that round that way, I think that will work. So we will put it there. And then what I'll do is I'll just use a conveyor just to flip over the road just like that. A little bit of extra resources, but it's not that much of a problem. And then we'll get back to here. So now these uranium mines, I mean, if you think about it, the potential output per worker is 0.75 tons. This mine could produce 75 tons of uranium ore, but of course these are very low percentages. Now the actual uranium processing plant can only basically turns 36 tons of uranium ore into 1.7 tons of uranium oxide. Now this plant here needs actually 2 tons of uranium oxide. So what this will do is this will probably never work at maximum production, because this will produce, if we can get 1.7 tons of uranium oxide out of here, this will produce take 2 tons of uranium oxide, and it also needs chemicals, and it produces 0.96 tons of UF6. Now the nuclear fuel fabrication battery takes 0.4 tons of UF6 and chemicals again. This is why I built in the second chemical plant. So the output of a single uranium conversion plant is enough to drive 2 nuclear fuel fabrication plants. And this is virtually equal to that. So what we need here is a single uranium conversion plant. Now, the internal storage of this is 30 tons of uranium or oxide. You can see here that the internal storage of the uranium processing plant can store enough uranium oxide for 15 days of production. So we don't really need an intermediate store for this. So we're going to do a direct connection to there, like that. You can see, so the export of uranium oxide is 30 tons. So whether that you can justify putting this into here, bear in mind that this is going to be the combined output, and this has got an import of 42 tons. So what you could do, I don't think we really need an intermediate open store here, although we could put one in. We could put one in, but actually it might be better to put one in just I'm just thinking, can we get something that's going to be a little bit neater and tidier by putting in a, now it's got to be an open store. You can see it stores, and this can store a small open store can store 198 tons of uranium oxide, which is what's going to be coming out. Whoops, just clear that. So the uranium processing plant, just want to double check, produces uranium oxide, and we can get 198 tons in there. my main problem with this is that this won't push to there. I think we are going to do a direct connection because at the end of the day, this is going to be more. I think we are going to go for a direct connection to this plant here. Now, the problem we're going to have now is, I think if I do that, because this is where the fun's going to start, because I think we put you there. Now the export from here, it says exported and it says in vehicle containers. So this is where things can get a little bit messy, because vehicle what's being exported from here, what this does is it actually produces the actual 0.96 UFS. This in itself, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't have a direct connection to these nuclear fuel factories, because what is actually is shipped in containers. And so although it says that it can export up to 4 tons of UF46, it's actually storing it within containers itself. There it says there. So, because if you look below, it says space for vehicle containers export is 186 square meters. And then if we come to here, if you look at the import, it says the import area for the fuel fabrication, the import area is 97 meters. So you can actually argue that the actual factory connection may not work. And it's something I've never really tested. So as a test, what we're going to do is put one of these in here like that. Now we actually need 2 of these. Oh, great. We're going to need okay, so I've got a problem here in the sense that I need the ability to level. Okay. Right. I think what we're going to have to do is put in a reconstruction office. We're just going to drop you there. And I think what I'm going to do is I actually built I'm going to do is we're going to move everybody over there. It's going to take them a long time to get over here, but I don't really want to buy any more vehicles. God knows where those vehicles actually are. Just want to see whether they're no longer allocated to this free depot. Yeah, this is gone, so we can demolish you. And the trucks will quite happily find their way there. So while that's actually happening, let's just see if we can get right. So we've now got our thing here. What we need to do is cancel you, deliver the coal there. We need you to pick up from there the fuel, and we need the dumpers. I think how much coal have we got in here? That's gravel, that's not coal. Got 89 tons of. I think what we will do is, I think this is a loading bay. Yep. And what we'll do is we'll start bringing in here. Got no workers in here just yet. So we got workers into here. And then once we've got the bitumen and fuel and coal in here, we'll start producing chemicals. What we do need to do is keep working on this area here. So what I want to do now is start thinking about this area here. What I need here is some covered holes. You can see it's called train repair here. I'm not sure I've got any covered holes at the moment. Send you there. Now what we are going to need is some covered holes. Right, we're going to allow you to build some, get some Mack trucks going there. Let me just see what type of setup I've got here. We've got a whole load of trucks and stuff here. Where are you? You're actually picking up from... Where are you picking up from? Oh yeah, you're picking up from there. You're picking up from the scrapping facility. I think what I'm going to need here is... we've got this here. I need to find a truck to scrap. Who's got a problem? Heavy waste hauler. Is it 15 years? We've got a wagon here that's a bit of a cause for concern because it's only 6 years old, but I think this... We've got a heavy waste hauler here. Where are you? Okay. Actually, we got... Just notice we got a... Hazardous waste, yeah. Hazardous waste is something I'm going to need to think about. Right. I think one thing I am going to do is set up that link. You're going to load stuff from here and send it to there. Actually, there and there. Right. And you can get to 100%. I don't feel I need a big truck to move the what's required here. So I think we're going to start quite modestly. We'll get an open hole capacity. I think something like you for 9 tons would be quite good because you're just going to move the steel and then covered holes capacity, and I think we need a couple of those because basically what we're going to be doing is moving the steel from here to there. So you're going to pick up the steel from there and deliver the steel there. Of course, he's got to go to the gas station. I think we need this built, but we're going to need more fuel distribution as well. Okay, so you're now going to come into here. And what you're going to do is electronics, plastics, mechanical components. That's all you need, isn't it? Let's just check. Plastics, mechanical components, electrical components. And so that's everything except fabric. And of course, what we got here is we don't need 18 tons of, and we certainly don't need, whoops, that's too low. We just, no. I want to start relatively small at the moment. Put you on to 7.4 electronic components. Okay. Right, now the last thing we got to do is pick up fabric. Now this is where it could get a bit dodgy, in the sense that you've got fabric there, so, and you will fabric there. I think to start with, we'll push that down to about 60%. Pollution warning, yeah, thank you, game. Take away the workforce from here. And then we'll just let this wither away. How are we doing here? Right. Oh, wow. These guys have already scrapped this, so we just do this. And we want to demolish this. And where's the demolition team? Okay, it's picked up the junkyard. They've done that already, so I want to clear this away. It's not an excessive amount of waste here, so that's okay. These are still being emptied. Actually, there's a possibility that I could do put the hazardous waste processing here. Let's have a look at that. It's 8 tons. It needs 1.1 tons of chemicals. Now, because one thing I didn't mention when I was talking about up here with the nuclear stuff is the fact that this all produces a lot of hazardous waste. You see, uranium, this produces hazardous waste. Also, so does the fabric factory produces hazardous waste as well. So we're going to have quite a concentration of hazardous waste here. So maybe we could put the hazardous waste processing plant up here, actually. Because we're going to bring chemicals into here as well. Maybe that's something to do. Right, we've now got our we've got kind of something we can work with here. Right, so let's just get back to here. What have we got? We've got uranium conversion plant. So the next thing we need to do is make nuclear fuel. I'm going to put a direct connection here. Actually, I think we'll just tilt you around like that a bit. Actually, we're actually going to do it this way. But actually tilt you even more that way. So we're just going to build this and just let the game. It's going to let the game run slowly, actually. Put one there. And what we'll do is, I think if I put one that way, we can have the two road entrances close together, which will allow us to put in here. So the road entrances are there, and we've got our two uranium plants there. So I think what we're going to do now is just put in the road back in again. We need to connect up with there and there. And we need to connect up with this road here. What type of bridge? Got a horrible bridge over here as well. So we're going to have to put a concrete bridge over there. And I think what we will do is eventually we'll get rid of this wooden bridge here. And put that road connection in there. Okay, so we possibly, oh yeah, if we put in hazardous waste processing plant somewhere around here, we could ship the waste. Trouble is the waste road connection is, I don't know, we could put a road, and then again we could be easier just to put a road across here, wouldn't it? Right, we're going to leave that road, and this road can be used for should we want to export fuel by road. Not that it's going to be very efficient, but yeah, I'll think about putting a road that way, but part of me says that if we've got a junction here, if we put another, it's nice and narrow here, we put a road bridge across like that, you can connect to there, and then what we can do is take this road out here. Is this being built yet? No, it's not. Good. We can just change this road around a bit. What's going on here? Take you out to there. Take you to there. And this road can come into there. And then we can build in a road infrastructure there. Yeah, I'm starting to like the fact that we can do our hazardous waste processing over here because we've got such a concentration. That would make sense. And then run this road up. I think we'll do something like that to make that into a junction. That leaves a little bit of space here for fire stations and other stuff that we're going to need. Cancel this. Put you there for the moment. Right, just accept that. We've got a road connection there. I would like a road bridge here over this railway. Although, truthfully, this is not going to be that busy, is it? Come to think of it, because it's always going to be doing this is bringing crops up from here. So it's not like it's going to be a main line. Yeah, we don't really need to build a bridge there. So, haha, our little guys are off. Well, you can enjoy yourself. So we've now got our clothing industry there. We got our nuclear facilities here, and then we can sort all that out. I mean, it's a lot to build, and then of course we got to plan our town here. And I'm aware that I'm running out of time, so what we're going to do is do the diagnostics here, tidy up this area here. Let's see how if we are actually. Actually, I need to check the build. Yeah, we've got workforce in here. Lots of people without jobs, though. I think I may have to instigate another way to get people out here. We're getting a nice supply of chemicals in here now. At the rate we're going, we're probably going to need to fill that up. In fact, there's one. There's a water system over here that actually uses chemicals. So what we can do is what we got here. Where are you? You're actually there. So we're going to change your route. It's a long way for you to come, but it's okay. We might as well start using you up, and we'll just remove the customs house, and you're going to pick up chemicals from there and drop them to there. I say it's a very long route. Wow, you're not kidding. But I think we'll be okay, because what's the internal storage of this water plant? capacity for, I mean, it only consumes 0.25 and it's got capacity of 2 tons, and the truck that's there can carry 1.5 tons of truck. So we can sort that out by giving him a bigger truck later on. And of course, once we've got this sorted out, he can get chemicals from this area. So he won't need to go all the way around that area. Just check the waste disposal. Got a fire here. Yeah, we got the waste under control. How's the... We are getting a nice steady flow of aggregate. So what we really need to finish off here... Cannot export water. Right, this needs to be absolute ultra high priority now, because that's what's slowing up our production of chemical stuff here on the 21st of June. I mean, to be honest, it's getting too late in the season to be able to do that. In fact, what we're going to need here is another distribution office. In fact, we're going to need 2 more distribution offices from the point of view of where can we put them. Actually, we've got a road, an asphalt road here. I'm going to put 2 distribution offices in here. 2 6s. Actually, we'll put 1 here and another over here. One of these is going to be to distribute more fuel, because this guy, oh, we got 1 little slot left. Where can we do it? I think it would pay to put it there, actually. We'll set you to 50%. We got our vehicles here. Just to finish off, we're look at the wear and tear for the entire map. Right, we got police van here. Where are you? Okay. Right. I think where can I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna change this route and send you to there. Remove you. One that will bring you, wow, that's a fairly circular route, isn't it? So you're going to do the dual honors of, you're going to be the first one to be scrapped there. I think there's not that much in the way of workforce here, so where are you? You're going back that way. I think we'll just run with 2 vehicles there for the moment and not adjust it necessarily. Wear and tear. We got Ollerton vehicle here. You're trash, so this is the technical services. I think we're going to send you to the scrapyard as well. We've got to get the scrapyard functioning. At the moment, it doesn't have to be super duper everything. Right, we need here. This is our Ollerton system here. And we need a waste truck. So, nope. Can't remember. I'm not too sure what I've just scrapped. So, capacity. Yeah, we don't have a lot in major capacity. This is a small garbage truck. Most of the city here is actually covered by large. Okay, it looks like we're going to have to go with that, because it's only really working to here. Wow. We've got a bit of a problem growing here. What's up with these guys? Okay, looks like we've got another one here. You've got 78 damage. What are you? You carry three tons of well, you're going to there. Where are you picking up from then? It's a chemical plant. Okay, so it looks like I've kind of worn out these vehicles here very, very quickly. And we're going to have to get another large waste truck. You're working to there. Kind of, are you actually, where are you putting your hazardous waste? You're there. I think what we're going to have to do is put your hazardous waste onto the burning pit here, because you were wasting the resources here with respect to actually, yeah, we're going to need to keep an eye on this. These trucks aren't, and you're just about to pick up 7.5 tons. What are you moving? I think what we're going to do is remove you, and you can just, so you won't be responsible for. I think what we may have to do is resort to using the large waste trucks again, because this is getting a little bit out of control, probably because we got a large town here. Let's just check the food situation. You need more food. Yeah, that's not good. Got 50 tons of chemicals here already. What's the problem? Right, this truck, this vehicle, what we need now is a cupboard hole. We need to treat the water. Got lined here, got a couple of fire trucks lined up here. Have I got any cupboard holes in here? Okay, you go to there. Actually, that's two-way over the top actually for I want something a bit smaller for shifting chemicals. Actually, let's go for speed over capacity, or speed and capacity. 9, 1.2. I think we'll get you. See if this is actually working. Yeah, we got some mixed waste that needs to be picked up. I'm a bit confused over why we've got nothing in there. Oh. Yep, I've made a mistake here. Got to click that tick that box there is very, very important, because what I've basically done is, if I come into here, is turned everything into metal scrap, which is wasted resources. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just send you up to here, where you're going to pick up chemicals from there, go to there, unload, wait until unloaded, and I've just didn't click him to tell him to go, and that gets him going. We've got a broken down truck over here who is in, right, so just to finish off, I'm going to see if I can find that broken down covered hole that's actually, yeah, it's a Mack truck here. So just going to pick up here, I'm going to follow you, let him drop off the necessity, and then we'll replace him with the truck that I was going to allocate to chemicals. There's another one there. Got a meat truck as well that needs to be replaced, but we'll do this guy first. You can go there, and I can always guarantee the slot is here, so you can replace him. And I've just lost that meat truck. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.